What was a movie that was so good that you watched it twice in theater? This question came to mind after I saw the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse for the second time yesterday. Exactly 2 times? Empire Strikes Back, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, Inglourious Basterds, at Chapter 1, Harry Potter 1, Mission Impossible Fallout, free solo documentary. Completely different and better experience in the theater. I wish I had seen it in IMAX, but there wasn't one around here. My birth videotape, no shit. Where I live you can hire a theater to put whatever you want for a private session. You can even play video games with friends. I decided to prank 2 separate group of friends with a little birth screening during my birthday celebrations before the video games. Was literally the only person in the theater for Office Space. Considered not getting up and watching it again. Probably nobody would have cared. Remember wondering if I was crazy for loving the movie, but it's gone on to be a cult hit. The Matrix. Watched it. Was on the way out of the theater and decided to watch the next showing too. I really like to watch movies multiple times on the big screen, for example John Wick 4, Top Gun Maverick, Avengers Infinity War, Spider-Man No Way Home, Across the Spider-Verse and a few more. Puss in Boots 2 was actually so good, that I've watched it like 4 or 5 times in the cinema. I saw all of the Harry Potter films at least twice in theater. I'm sure there were others but I can't think of it at the moment. The Super Mario Bros. Movie, the new one. I actually watched it 3 times in theaters and bought it digitally. I've watched it around 30 times now somehow, and reference hunting never gets old. I feel old because back when I was a teenager, going to see a movie over and over, especially during the summer, was just what you did. I lost count of how many times I saw things like Independence Day, Joker. To be fair, I didn't watch it twice cause it was good. I just had 2 different dates and there was no other movie worth waiting. I wasn't creative with my date ideas back then. Across the Spider-Verse, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, The Incredibles, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, and Star Wars Episode 7, Pirates of the Caribbean. What a brilliant first movie! The rest were at varying levels of interesting, but that first movie was magic. Titanic and Moulin Rouge were the only 2 movies I ever watched twice in the theater. I loved Titanic so much that I went back to see it with my grandmother because I knew she would love it too. And I took my mom to see Moulin Rouge because I thought it was such a cool concept, but the entire time she just kept asking, "What is this shit?" As it got progressively weirder, I see a lot of movies twice these days at least, since I watch them by myself if no one is available on opening night the Thursday before, then with friends, and possibly family. Recently, it was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and it was absolutely worth seeing twice and then a 3rd time. The Iron Giant. One of the few who actually managed to catch it in its theatrical run. Loved it so much that as soon as I got home, fired up the old dial-up internet and emailed all my friends telling them to see it. 2nd time, I dragged my best friend to it. He enjoyed it. The Town. Best bank robbery scenes in maybe any movie ever, nails everything, has a fairly complex and compelling overarching story. It remains my favorite film to this day. The Lion King 1994, Jurassic Park 1993, and Blair Witch 1999. I saw them all twice in theaters opening weekend. I'd cry, but my mom saw The Greatest Showman 4 times in theaters. She also thinks Amy Schumer is funny, so her taste is rough. My girlfriend and I at the time went to see Tron Legacy about 10 times in theaters, mostly because of Daft Punk LOL, the original Star Wars 1977. Twice in the first weekend. For a SIO 24 hours lock-in for a fundraiser. We'd get sponsors to pay for out movie tickets. That dollar went to the local boys club. 12 times, in 24 hours, well, 25 hours. 12 $2, 12 sponsors, $288 just for me, at a time when kids paid $3 for membership, or $100 for 1 week of summer camp. Wish stuff like this still happened.